In our previous video, we have noticed that in presence of external disturbance, it is not easy for state feedback controller to achieve the objective of getting the position and velocity to zero. In this video, we are going to discuss a different control strategy. Before doing that, let us discuss something more about the control input. Our system is defined as x1 dot equal to x2, x2 dot equal to u plus f, where u is the control input. This is in terms of acceleration. This term u is the main driving force for achieving our objective. Whatever control strategy we develop, the control is induced through this control input u. The next question that we may have is why this u is in terms of force or acceleration and not in terms of higher or lower order state variables. By lower order state variable I mean velocity, and by higher order state variable I mean the derivative of acceleration. To justify this, if you look around at anything and everything, the driving action is force. If you want to move your car, it is the torque to the wheels converted to force. If a quadcopter wants to take off, it is the thrust converted to force. So if you look around at everything, let it be a push or a pull or an object falling to the ground due to the force of gravity, everything is because of the force. Velocity and position are a result of force. Thus, it is more convincing to take force or acceleration as control input rather than velocity or any higher order derivative of acceleration. So the control inputs in terms of velocity that we saw in example for system 3 is no more valid. We can have control input in terms of force or acceleration only. But with all these experiments, one thing is pretty clear. If we want the state of a system to go to zero as time tends to infinity, we can do it by feeding back the state of the system, feeding back the negative state of the system to its derivative. By that I mean, if we can make the state of the system to follow x dot equal to minus x, where x is the state of the system, then this will go to zero as t tends to infinity. By the way, this is called asymptotic convergence. For the system we considered where x1 dot equal to x2, x2 dot equal to u plus f, we won't be able to make x1 dot equal to minus x1 as control through velocity is not possible. Rather, we can have a control through acceleration. So we can have x2 dot equal to minus x2. If we have just this control, then the system equation will be x1 dot equal to x2, x2 dot equal to minus x2 plus f. The consequences we already saw in the simulation for system 5. So even without considering the disturbance term, we won't be able to meet our objective in terms of position if we just have this control. For controlling the position, we can obviously feed back the position information along with the velocity information as control input, but this time let us try something else. Let us try a different control strategy. For controlling the velocity, we will use the same asymptotic convergence of x2 dot equal to minus x2. For controlling the position, let us use signum of the position. The way the signum function works is, if you input any positive value, it will return plus 1. If you input any negative value, it will return minus 1. And if you input 0, it will return 0. So to the signum function, if the input is say plus 100, the output will be plus 1. If the input is say 0.001, still the output will be 1. This is one point to be noted. So we will use the signum function for the position. The intuition behind this is, say the position is at plus 10. Then a force equal to minus 1 will be acting on the body. Similarly, when the body is at say minus 5, a force equal to plus 1 will be acting on the body to bring it to origin. The catch with using the signum function is, even if the position is slightly deviated from the origin, because of the signum function it is going to use the full force or acceleration in the opposite direction. So with the use of signum function of position as a control input, our modified system definition will be x1 dot equal to x2, x2 dot equal to minus x2 minus rho sine x1. So what is this rho here? We will see more about this rho later, but for now we can assume this is an amplification factor for the signum function. So rather than outputting just plus 1 or minus 1, it can output plus 10, minus 10 or plus 100, minus 100 depending on the factor rho. Let us simulate this system in Simulink. Let us call this system System 1 SMC. The initial condition for position is 10. The initial condition for velocity is 5 units. Once we simulate and take a look at the plots, we can see the position and velocity has almost gone to 0. If you take a closer look, you will notice that the velocity value is oscillating between minus 0.05 and plus 0.05. The reason for this chattering of velocity value will be found if we look at the acceleration plot. If you look at the acceleration, it is varying from plus 1 to minus 1. So even if there is a very small deviation in the position, which we can see here, the acceleration will be plus 1 because of the presence of signum function. So even if there is a very small deviation in terms of position, the control action taken because of the presence of signum function will be a full plus 1 or minus 1. This will induce a velocity in the body. Thus there is a chattering in the velocity. But even with this control strategy, we can manage to bring the velocity and the position of the body almost near to 0, if not 0. Our objective is somewhat met in this case. Let us slightly improve this control strategy. Rather than taking only the signum of position, why not we take signum of position as well as velocity? So signum of sum of position as well as velocity. The intuition behind this is, if you imagine the body moving towards the right, it has a positive position as well as positive velocity. So the control action taken by the signum function should be a negative acceleration. But if the same body is traveling towards the left while on the right side of the origin, then it has a positive position but negative velocity. This body should be stopped at origin. For this, the force acting on the body is towards the right. So the force should be positive. The control action taken by the signum function should be +1 rather than -1. So this seems to be more intuitive and should work better. So let us simulate for the same system with the same initial condition. Let us call this system system2_smc. The system definition is x1 dot equal to x2, x2 dot equal to minus x2 minus rho sine sum of x1 and x2. If we compare the plots for both of these, we can see that there are far lesser chattering in this case compared to the previous case. So this strategy has worked better. So in this case we have achieved the objective. In both these examples we have not considered the disturbance. So in this case the control input was -x2 minus rho sine x1 plus x2. This kind of control action is sliding mode controller. In the next video we will see the effect of disturbance and compare with one having a sliding mode controller and one with state feedback controller.